What's happening, gang? It's your boy Retro back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got another huge update. We're now seeing it all coming crashing down for that corrupt judge Juan Merchant. This newest update is now facing the backfire, one of the biggest backfires I think we've seen coming for him yet, guys. So we got new evidence being uncovered on the way he acted, his behavior within that charade Stormy Daniels hush money case and trial that got Donald Trump slapped with that felony charge. Now got him labeled as a convicted felon in the American people's eyes, guys. I'm excited to see this update. What's going on with Judge Juan Merchant? You know, he's possibly facing disbarment, maybe even some jail time behind his actions, the way he has, been biased to the case. So we're going to get straight to the update, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. Definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end. Also, YouTube push this video out. Definitely stick around until the end, you guys. But let's get straight to the news. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys hit that like button and also hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Yo, let's get into it, y'all.
The New York Appeals Court has now rejected former President Donald Trump's request to lift the gag order in his New York criminal case. It appears Trump will have to campaign under Judge Juan Merchant's gag order through the 2024 election. Even though the trial is already over, legal experts claim Merchant's refusal to lift the gag order is a vast overreach of power. Here's what Jonathan Turley wrote. You have a local New York judge effectively limiting what the leading presidential candidate can say in the months leading up to the election. The continuation of the gag order seems untethered from any compelling rationale. Putting aside the questionable value of the continuation of the gag order, in this case, Judge Merchant is ignoring the countervailing cost for the political system. George.
Well, I'm not a New York lawyer. I'm a Texas lawyer, proudly, but there isn't much precedence for...
So you're better.
Exactly.
Such a humble brag.
We're bigger. Bigger and better. But no, I would say that there isn't precedence here in New York. Other celebrities that have been under similar gag orders typically have had that gag order lifted by the district judge as the underlying issues are litigated at the appellate level. And I think President Trump will eventually have his court day, whether it's at a higher level or in the federal court system.
How high could it go? Could it go to the U.S. Supreme Court?
If he chooses to appeal that, he can. And, look, I think it only benefits, since this lawfare campaign has occurred throughout the country against the president, it only benefits him. I mean, if you look at the correlation between this legal aspect of what the left is bringing against him, particularly blue progressive DAs, you'll see that his polling has only increased and gotten stronger over time.
Oh, sure.
So, last time I was with you, and the fundraising. So, last time I was with you, I remember sharing that it's not like Democrats are asking me for advice, but I would have shut down the lawfare strategy and just focused on issues. But that's what this president is not interested in doing.
That was long before the verdict. So I have to share with the audience, you are hot on this issue. I've never seen you pound your notes.
I am. Look, the New York Appeals Court, so viewers understand, that's the highest court in New York. So essentially, it's their Supreme Court. When you are talking about political speech, core political speech, you get the highest level of scrutiny. A law is considered under strict scrutiny. And for all those, I know it sounds like legalese, the point is we really look and make sure that laws do not affect political speech. I do not see how anyone can argue that a gag order on a presidential candidate 7 days before a presidential election does not implicate the First Amendment. Donald Trump's lawyer specifically said there's a debate coming up. What happens on the stage when Joe Biden cites Michael Cohen or cites Stormy Daniels?
Well,
I don't know if they'll go there. Trump can't answer. Trump can't answer. How is that good for the American people? This is the highest court in New York, and I find the ruling to be shameful.
Emily, how can that happen at that debate if that comes up? I mean, that's like someone accusing you of murder, and you can't say, I didn't do it.
And the thing that is so disheartening as well, to carry your ball a little further about the strict scrutiny, is that think about in the court of law, we talk about this often, when the prejudicial nature, the court balances whether something will prejudice or it has probative value. Essentially, let me weigh whether the damaging impact of this particular issue outweighs whether it helps. And the point is that you always defer to the defendant. You always defer to something that is remediable so that you err on the side of helping the defendant so that you err on the side of protecting political speech or whatever constitutional right you have at that moment. So here, it really boggles my mind that they wouldn't err on the side of protecting a political candidate, a presidential political candidate speech,
Right.
especially because the trial ended. So, look, I'm not the president's attorney, but I would say answer away, Mr. President, and just deal with the consequences after, because the consequences from him speaking as he should on that stage during the debate will have far greater consequences, better for him than acquiescing to this
and the
ridiculous gag
consequences,
order.
Kennedy, that Emily's talking about are for the American people. I mean, if they can't hear
Yes.
from the presidential candidate, then how do they vote? I mean, that is the height of election interference.
Well, it has been benefiting the former president so far. So, you know, if I were him, I would actually secretly want them to keep the gag rule in order, or the gag order in
But
place.
he's got to be able to fight back.
Well, of course he should fight back. He should look like he's fighting back, but secretly it's like, hey, man, I would love to tell you guys the truth, but I can't. My lips are sealed by this
wow.
entire establishment that is trained against me and just wants to squash me and you and your future prosperity. And so I think it's one of the best things that has happened to him. It's one of the remnants of the case.
Wow.
It's the stinky bologna that's been left in the fridge for over an hour, and everyone knows it smells to high heaven. But at this point, it's benefiting, and so let's keep it right where it is.
Yo, there we have it, guys. That corrupt Judge Juan Merchant leaving that gag order in place after the trial has already concluded, guys. We've already got a verdict and everything, guys. We're just awaiting, you know, the sentencing. And this guy, Judge Juan Merchant, feels that he's going to overreach and keep that gag order in place on a presidential candidate who is, you know, right ahead of him is the debates. You know, he's campaigning, and there's certain things he can't say in the public eye in regards to, you know, defending his name over this case. A clown case at that. You know, Michael Cohen, that key and star witness, got up there, lied his butt off. Social media, he's racking in the big bucks by lying, getting over on Donald Trump. You know, he's already, you know, said that he's embezzled money for Donald Trump before. This guy can't even fight back. Judge Juan Merchant is forcing Donald Trump to do this with his hands behind his back, leaving Donald Trump with the only weapons as his feet and his head, because his hands are going to be tied behind his back. As we've got that New York Appeals Court, one of the highest courts in New York, striking down on Trump, his legal team, and their request to uplift that gag order. That part really baffles me. I'm lost for words on the fact that they didn't, you know, lift that gag order. I'm surprised that Judge Juan Merchant, you know, didn't lift it, and I think that's probably why they didn't want to lift it. I mean, he went above and beyond to put that gag order on Donald Trump. He should be able to be the one who, you know, by himself lifts it back up, you know, takes it off of you. I'm not sure what Judge Juan Merchant sees, how he's going to hurt this case going forward, seeing that the verdict's already been delivered. There is no way that he's going to be tampering with any of the jurors. They've already done their part. You know, it just doesn't make sense why Judge Juan Merchant feels this is what he needs to do. It's just blatantly showing his, you know, his hand, what he is, and he is political. This whole case was a very politicized case. Charade case coming from D. Alvin Bragg, a dead case revived. We all know the great lengths that, you know, D. Alvin Bragg had to go in order to get this case brought about, you know, and Judge Juan Merchant let his courtroom be a host for this this charade clown case. He's got a kangaroo court. We all know it. And this right here shows it. We need to hold Judge Juan Merchant accountable right here. We're seeing it. He's not going to lift the gag order. He's going to, you know, blatantly interfere with the 2024 elections, guys. He needs to be held accountable. Remove this judge. Throw him in jail. Guys, definitely hop in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. This corrupt Judge Juan Merchant need to be held accountable for his actions. And also, what makes him, you know, logically think that this is reasonable to be able to keep this gag order after this case has concluded? It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. Definitely hop in the comment section. Let me know what you think. And also make sure you guys hit that share button. Share this out to as many Facebook friends as possible, guys. Share the truth. Also, make sure you guys hit that like button. It doesn't cost one thing, you guys. Hit that like button for your boy. Also, hit that subscribe button as we're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on the next week. Go.